I'm Bob Coleman. We're talking Main Street and the small business lenders who help it grow. Hey, thank you to this week's sponsor, the Rural Lenders Roundtable, held in Washington, D.C. on December 5th, as well as the 11th Annual SBA Secondary Summit, held the day before on Tuesday, December 4th. Thomas Kimsey, we're at the Trump-Doral, the National Alliance of Commercial Loan Brokers. Thomas, always good to see you.
Good to see you, Bob.
Why is Thomas USAF, of who you're the president CEO of, why are you here?
We're here to provide access to capital to rural America, Bob, and we love rural America as well as all America. We're serving all 50 states, the U.S. territories, and we're just happy to be here.
Guam.
Guam, yeah, I was in Guam in May, exactly.
I love it.
So we're just happy to be here, and be a part of this conference, and we think we can assist these small business owners by being here.
Tell me about December 5th in Washington, D.C., a very important event.
Yes, that's correct. A very important event. We've got our annual roundtable in D.C., December 5th, the National Rural Lenders Roundtable coming up. It's a great event. We'll have all the USDA representatives there, as well as Senator David Perdue, our keynote speaker. We're really excited to have him there, who's on the Ag Committee, and we encourage everybody to be there to get the update and to help participate in the USDA program.
And come the day before for the SBA secondary market
as well.
You're the sponsor. We have Senator Risch as the keynote speaker for that. And this is a really important time because it's going to be after the election, and we're going to have a little bit more clarity of the membership in the House and how that affects Main Street and rural America.
That's right, how it'll affect access to capital and how the funding level looks.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you.
Hey, last week I was at the Trump-Doral for the National Association of Commercial Loan Brokers, interviewed conference co-founder Chris Caleri, and he gave a nice recap of a very well-attended, over 800 people, SBA lending, commercial loan lending, small business lending professionals. Chris Caleri, Trump-Doral, co-founder, National Alliance of Commercial Loan Brokers at the National Alliance of Commercial Loan Brokers 4th annual event. I was here at the first one. Well, not here. I was in Vegas.
Sure.
400 people.
We actually had about 375.
And how many this week?
The last count I got, which was about 20 minutes ago, was 854.
Awesome. And what do you credit the success?
I credit the need and calling of the market, honestly. The longer we exist, the more people share our information with both lenders and brokers, and each and every year we grow by 150 to 200 people per year.
Well, you have a great agenda, a lot of great speakers. I think I'm one of them.
You are one of them.
No, I mean, and you get a buy-in from all over the country. Mm-hmm. What is the future for this conference? Where do you see it going next?
We're really working hard behind the scenes to legitimize what we do here. More than just a conference every day. We're looking at things that setting up a board of directors, and we say this every year, but we only have so much time. But this 2019 is going to be a big year for us. We want to set up an ethics committee, both for lenders and brokers, because I think once we have that, people can actually take our logo, our what we stand for, and put that on a piece of paper that will convey trust to a borrower. Because as we know, Bob, and I read your publication all the time, Fraud Friday, I cringe when we hear about brokers doing bad things in the market, and I think that's a general persona because it's an unregulated market. We're trying to bring some organization and legitimate kind of standards to the industry that everybody can abide by.
Well, Chris, you've done a great job. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And a glimpse for next year, ready to announce it?
We may be in your home court.
All right.
We may be in your home court.
Right. Very good.
Thanks, Bob.
Thanks a lot. Chris is a good guy. He has a good organization. I'll give a plug right now for next year's conference. You should be there. One of the main topics that I discussed and everyone else is discussing is what's happening with SBA loan disclosures, loan broker fee disclosures. So we had actually our live event was there. I did it with Chris Hearn, CEO, co-founder of Fountainhead, and we did a poll of our audience. By the way, I really appreciate all the support we're getting that is being well attended. And this is what the industry says they are paying on average to SBA loan brokers for loans.
Again, I'd be surprised if it's less than 80%. but maybe there's maybe we're seeing a little bit of the legacy issues with brokers in the past.
All right. And let's see what the audience says. Come on, Michael. Come on.
Same thing.
There you go.
All right. Okay. Interesting.
About 2/3. And our last poll question is, and this is the key one that everyone here wants to know about, is on average. Now I understand it's interest rate sensitive and dollar amount, et cetera, but on average, what if you pay referrals, what is it that you're paying? What do you think the answer is going to be?
I think the answer is going to be close to 1%. Although I can tell you my answer would probably be slightly over 2%. But again, I'm dealing with 504 and conventional, and I imagine most of the folks are going to be on 7A with this.
We got both. We have both. We have a number of CDCs, and we'll see what the industry. Very good.
There you go. I finally got one right.
What do you think, Lance?
I agree with Chris. I think on 7A deals, 1% would probably be a more common percentage. Occasionally, bigger, more complex deals, you might see a little higher. But on the 504 deals, in file reviews that I've done, Bob, I've seen quite a few that are at the 2.25.
Yeah, my takeaway on that is I would have lost money on this one. The 0.5%. I thought more would be in that range. But again, that's from a couple years ago when I remember doing this, and volume's up and people are chasing deals, and so they're willing to pay. The other number that was interesting was about 20% or over 2%. So that tells me there's very strong demand. Lance Sexton did a great webinar on SBA litigation plans, recoveries, care and preservation of collateral expenses. And we had a question from Michael who said, what do I do to make sure I get all of my litigation expenses covered by the SBA loan process?
I'm just going to tell you, if you have a litigation plan with a budget over 5, put a category in, push it to 10, and get it approved. I can't tell you how many times I've been cruising along with a fairly simple litigation action. It gets complex. Expenses run up. I've seen it time and time again, Bob. Somebody had, they're expecting $7,500. All of a sudden it's $20,000, and they haven't gotten it approved, and they submit it to SBA, and they're like, denied.
I think your good takeaway on that is I would definitely bring in the district counsel at the office that's in charge of this transaction and send it to them and get them involved and make sure they're with it.
Bob, know your district counsel, your district boss.
That's probably the best takeaway from this webinar. Yeah,
I can't say that too many times. And the person who has the litigation plan where they're having trouble with their litigation expenses because it blew up all of a sudden, talk to your district counsel, explain the circumstances. Maybe they can help you get it approved. But I'm just going to tell you the best proactive step, unless it's incredibly simple litigation, I'm going to get a budget that's $10,000 or more. If we spend 6, awesome.
Yeah, but get that district counsel involved right at the beginning. Yeah,
absolutely.
Please keep your videos coming about small business success stories. This is a great one from our friends at CDC Small Business Finance about Daniel Palacio, Berkeley Pizza. I think you'll enjoy this clip.
I think if you're going to start a restaurant, definitely take your product to the farmer's market first. Get feedback, see how things go. I think Yelp is huge for potential landlords to look at you and think, oh wow, okay, this is what the business is about. Don't be dissuaded by the common knowledge that, oh, it's so difficult to get a business loan. I think places like CDC, to my surprise, they peel back all the layers, and they're in the business of providing working capital for startups or existing businesses. Something I'm really surprised about, social media has become really huge. I thought if you had an amazing product and you were on the news a few times in great locations, I thought, great, you've got it made. But no, it's like an ongoing thing where it's your reputation on Facebook or on Yelp or on Groupon or other platforms that actually really matters a lot.
Thank you for joining us today for the Coleman Report Update and for supporting America's Main Street. one entrepreneur at a time.